Greetings, ladies. I'm so excited. So, tomorrow we actually get into a little breath work, a little moving the body. Um, and the rest of the time after that, we are really going to be moving it and it builds. The practices build off of one another. So, by the time we end the practice or in the 7 days, you'll have a short sequence that you'll be able to integrate into your life. And I'm so excited about that. But today we'll talk a little bit about the energy and the energy field in cell therapy. And the reason why I'm taking the time to do this, if you can understand the basic principles, any of the movements that you do, if you continue on with me for the full sequence, or you do the short sequence over and over again, you'll understand exactly what you're doing and make it beneficial for your health. So, I want to talk about the energy itself and how it works. So, again, you can integrate this in your daily life. So, let's talk a little bit about the cell theory, the cell field theory, excuse me. So every cell in the body is constantly moving and vibrating. And not only this, but it has information in it. From the very beginning, that's how the liver knows to be the liver and the spleen knows to be the spleen. And this is also how trauma gets locked inside of the body and communicates this trauma to the rest of the body. So whether it is mental anguish, whether something happens, we experience a loss like the death of a loved one, for example, and how this gets into our bodies and kind of brings about disease and different ailments. So imagine every cell in the body is like vibrating, right? It's vibrating, it's moving, it's spinning. And as it's doing this, it's also contracting, right? So it expands, it contracts, it expands, it contracts. And it's this beautiful harmony that all of the cells are doing. And when the cells are healthy, the entire body is vibrating this frequency of health, which, as you know, this is where the aura comes from. You have a person that can see the aura, or the machines these days that can see what type of aura you have. This is exactly what they're reading. What is the information that's being vibrated from within the cells? Okay, so we know that cells are vibrating and moving around and contracting and expanding. So, and sending out information. So, how do we move this energy? So, since we already know it's not stagnant, the energy can be manipulated, right? Remember, I talked about the harmony of it all, and how if everything is vibrating health and wellness, the entire body is vibrating health and wellness, other than when things are integrated like trauma, either a physical trauma where the body is injured. The cells in that area will have that information and vibrate it to the rest of the body, or emotional sadness, the cells will also vibrate that. So, this is the importance of really doing the breath work and the energy work. Sometimes, because of these things, whether physical trauma or emotional trauma, the cells either vibrate too much and create too much energy, or the cells slow down and they don't create enough energy. So, an example of creating too much energy would be anxiety, right? Which is very common with everyone right now. There's too much energy in one of the elements. The fire element is a very common place to have too much energy. Tumors, such as fibroids, bone spurs, cysts, anywhere that there's too much energy, you're going to have pain. You're going to have too much heat in a particular area, and you could have mass. So the energy builds, the cells are vibrating too much, and then this energy comes together, and eventually it brings about something more solid, more solid, more solid. And this is where we get tumors and fibroids and bone spurs and all these other things. So let's look at the opposite. If the cell is not vibrating enough and it slows down, what does that bring? Right? That brings lack of energy. That brings lack of clarity, lack of mental stability, right? Because the cells are moving too slow. So the practices that we go over, the yin and the yang, that's the beautiful part. We'll have movements where they're very subtle, right? Very soft. And then we'll have movements where it's very yang, where we're really moving the energy. This is what we're doing. We're not just moving just to be moving. We have smaller movements, right, to wake that energy up. And then we have movements where the energy is too big in a particular area, right? We need to move that energy out, right? So that's why I'm taking the time to explain the cell therapy and manipulating energy. So as we close out on this practice, I hope that's clear to everybody. And as always, you can always email me if you need more clarity along the way as we continue on the 7 days together. At any point, feel free to reach out to me if you need help, because I really want you to be able to fully integrate in the practices. So we'll do this exercise. Let's do the exercise with the palms of the hands. Put the palms together. And some people are very sensitive. And if you're not very sensitive, you can put the hands closer together until you can feel heat between the hands or a little tingling between the hands. This is the energy that is building up in this space. Because remember, the hands are vibrating. You pull them close together or you bring them close together, you can feel this energy. So if we start to do this, you can feel the energy between your two hands here. So just practice with the energy, bringing it out, back in, out, back in. I want you to start to build this energy. Make it a beautiful ball. Really manipulate the energy. And to help you out, you can also visualize, give the energy a color. There are some people who are, clairvoyant. They can actually see the energy in the color, but you don't have to be advanced. You don't have to see the energy, but it's physics. The energy is there. So it just takes a little practice for you to be able to feel the energy. So you build that energy up between the two palms. Now I want you to take your right index finger and you're going to point at the palm of the left hand and direct the energy into the palm of the left hand. Direct the energy. And whatever it feels like to you is what it feels like to you. For some people, it'll feel like a warm energy. For some people, it may feel cool. For some people, it may feel like prickly, like little prickly things in the palm of your hand. So just focus the energy there. Now I want you to turn. If you need to get closer to the hand without touching until you become sensitive enough where you can pick up on the energy, feel the energy in the palm of the left hand. You can bring it out and feel. You can feel that energy coming from the index finger and then the entire hand. Go smaller. And if you need to close your eyes so you can feel the energy. And just practice with that. So everything is yin and yang, so you need to do the same thing to the other hand. You're going to take your left index finger, just point it at the palm, in the palm of the hand without touching. You can feel that energy. Just notice what it feels like for you. Something, eyelash or something here. Really integrate with the energy. Notice, does it have a color? What does the energy feel like? So remember I talked about the energy is all around. The cells are vibrating and they are creating an aura. What we're doing here, the practice that I want you to focus on, is you are directing the energy to go somewhere versus the energy just being in selected area vibrating. You're projecting it somewhere, right? Have an awareness of what this feels like for you. Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it prickly? Does it feel numb? For some people, it feels numb. You know, make bigger circles around the right hand. Bigger. And smaller. Crystals. Can also do this with a crystal, right? The energy is already coming from the hand. You're using the crystal to project the energy. crystal really expands the energy. It makes it much bigger. And it doesn't matter which type of crystal, but the energy. And the farther you are apart, the energy just, it gets smaller. This is more concentrated. The energy expands and vibrates smaller the wider you get, right? So we're taking the time to do this so you can understand the flow of energy. So like when I'm doing womb Reiki, right? I turn the energy on, and where there's too much information or negative information in the womb or in the heart, and you can do this. You just move the energy out of the way, right? Just move and manipulate. So this is important because I really want you to have your focus and intention on the movements that we'll be doing. And you'll know based on what your body is telling you if I have too much energy here or I don't have enough energy there, then we'll be building the chi. I'll show you how to build chi in the body, right? And then I'll show you how to project the chi, move the chi out, or integrate the chi throughout the body, right? So when we're going through these practices, I want you to reflect back on this particular video because you'll understand when I say paint the body with the energy. You can see the energy, you can sense the energy. And again, like I mentioned before, you can integrate the practices in other practices that you do as well. So I hope that you understood that, how the energy works, how we will be working with the energy, how to dissipate energy, how to build energy up. All right. Always, you can reach out, let me know if you need help with anything, and I will see you all on tomorrow where we start moving. Remember to have enough padding because we will be on the floor. And then I believe the day after that, we'll be doing a lot of work with our knees. So make sure you have the support for that. All right. Bye.